Hello and welcome back to Pentiment. It has been 7 years since we proved Brother Piero's innocence and caused Brother Ferenic's death. And now it is us back in Kiersau. We've been on a trip and we are basically here to find out what's been going on in the 7 years since we were last here. So, before we get started, we're going to have a look up in here. Now, we're not going to go into the people bit because I haven't seen any patches saying that they fixed it. But when I went in here earlier just to have a look and see like what was going on, I did see that maps has been updated, so I thought we would have a look. Anyway, I should stop by Klaus's house to see how he's been. So that's our job right now. If we have a look at our character sheet, you'll see that we now have Poland. Interestingly, there is space here. Just if you were looking at the UI, there is definitely space here to get a little bit more in. I wonder whether they're going to fill that out. I didn't think they were going to do anything more over here, but, you know, now that I know there's a possibility of adding to this sheet, I'm like, maybe. Anyway, and then on this side, Andreas knows some bits of Polish, bits of Czech and Hungarian, and can reference cultural touchstones from Krakow, Prague, and Buda. That's our new stuff. Now, what's new on our map? Oh, every map has an upgrade, or an update. So this just must be if there are new things on each map. This one looks roughly identical. In fact, I would go so far as to say it is identical. This one? Ooh, okay. So the Golden Hand Inn is a new place. Okay. Nothing else looks too different here. Martin Bauer and Widow Kemperton here. Was that always Martin Bauer's farm? I'm not sure. Anyway, then Tassing, that's the Drucker house. And then there's Rathaus up here. That's new, I think. Okay, interesting. So potentially some new things. Now we could go to bed. We're not going to do that. Let's look over here. The room is sparse compared to what I'm used to. But it's kind of what he had when he was last here. In fact, it's maybe a little bit nicer than what he last had. So, yeah. He's used to better things now. Okay. Have a little investigation. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Andreas. How are you enjoying your stay? Well enough. Perhaps my husband could provide something else to make your stay more enjoyable. Thank you, Hannah. That's very kind. You're most welcome, Master Maler. Was there anything else? No, thank you. Until later. Until then. So who's Hannah's husband? We can't check the people thing, but I assume it's whoever owns the inn, judging by where we're at. No, I want to go down. There we go. Right. Well, that must be Hannah's son, Kilian. Good day, Master Maler. And then Nico. Master Maler, is it? Hello and welcome to the Golden Hand. I am Nico Berger. I own this land house and run it with my wife, Hannah, and our son, Kilian. I believe my boy helped you to your room. Is it to your liking? It's lovely, thank you. I'm glad to hear it, glad to hear it. When you arrived in town, one of the locals said you lived here a few years back. Yes, I worked for the Abbey as an artist. Ah, I see. I've heard you were involved in solving a murder. Yes, out of necessity. The wrong man was being accused of the crime, a friend of mine. I heard it was the prior at the Abbey, that the Baron was sacrificed in some diabolical spell the brother was casting. No, he wasn't casting a spell. The Baron wasn't a sacrifice. Where did you hear that? Oh, bits and pieces that people have said here and there. Well, it sounds like the story has changed in the last 7 years. I meant no offense, Master Maler. I just find it to be an interesting story. Well, we'll leave it there. I have to go. Of course. Again, I meant no offense. I'll leave you to your day. Until later. Until then. Like, we'll push it a little bit, but we're not going to push it too far. We're quite happy to just leave it there. Right, so what's on this side? So that's the way out to the meadow. So it looks like this place has a back to it as well. Maybe something going on back here that we can click on. Oh, Samuel, the bard. Hello, Andreas. Alright, apparently he is not worth speaking to. So we shall not speak to him. We shall in fact go right out the door and to the meadow. Just do it. You know it's the right thing. I don't understand why this is so hard for you. Otto, I'm scared. It's dangerous to cross the abbot. Is that Martin Bauer? Would you prefer the alternative? You don't need to do that, Otto. I understand. I'm just saying... Andreas? Andreas Maler? Oh, it's good to see you again, old friend. Otto, you're looking well. This is my apprentice, Kaspar Ziegler, from Salzburg. Salzburg, a small city located on the river Salzach and founded on Roman ruins. Rumors of violence and rebellion in the city are becoming more common. Kaspar's hometown. Good day. Ah, that answers that. I thought he might have been your son. I've only been married 7 years, Otto. Oh, good point. How old are you then? 14, sir. You're a small 14. Shit, never would have known. Easy living will do that, I guess. Eva and I just had our first, little Otto. But we call him Otts. Looks like that. Looks very impressed. Oh, and also Eva! So he did marry Eva. Congratulations to you both. That's wonderful news. It's not after himself, it's after old Otto, who I'm guessing is no longer with us. Thank you. It's been a trial with Dad gone, but Clara and Ursula help out when they can. Oh, Ursula's grown up to look almost identical, but probably says more. I'm sorry to hear about your father. That's life. At least he's with the Lord now, free of his aches and pains. I know Eva wrote to you about my father's death, Andreas. Why didn't you write back? Let's just say that we're sorry. I'm sorry. Things got busy after I left Tassing. Sorry to interrupt, but I should be heading back. I feel like I should remember your face, but I can't place it. Well, don't trouble yourself. It's me, Martin, remember? Oh yes, of course. Hello, Martin. Hello. Sorry to run, but I have to get these sheep back to the farm. As much as I love whiling away the hours in the meadow, I have a lot to attend to. Also, I'll see you at the meeting later. Andreas, until later. Ooh. Last time I saw Martin was in this meadow. He was sneezing, seemed to hate being here. Even his mother cat said that he always sneezed when he was in the meadow. Strange. Is it strange, or is it or are you just confused? Who is this? I know what I saw. Are you sure? Okay, we have voices in our head talking to us. Until then. Okay, that's weird. Pain in my ass. Is something happening in town? Oh wait, no, I can't believe how much Martin's changed. True, he's like the prodigal son. Took over his father's farm after Franz died. Ah yes, so it wasn't always Martin Bauer in that on the map. Yeah, okay, interesting. But it does still say the Widow Kemperton. But, okay, so I'm guessing Ottilia's still around. Which would be interesting. Either that or there's a new Widow Kemperton. Anyway. He's been a much better husband to Brigitte and provider for Cat. Franz died? How's little Wolf doing? Wolf, who looked like that, I'm guessing, last time we saw him? Franz's heart gave out. Local legend says he was screaming at Cat and he dropped dead. Not that I want anyone to suffer, but few were sad to see that man go. A little Wolf. Oh, he died a few months after you left. I think Martin still feels guilty about it. Ah, is something happening in town? You picked an interesting time to visit. Come by the town commons in a while. I think you'll be interested to hear what I have to say. I didn't realize you were in the business of giving speeches. Oh wait, yeah, I'll say, actually I was just on my way to see Klaus. I'll tell him to come too. He's been dragging his feet. Until later. Okay. Well, obviously when I said see Klaus, what I meant was explore the entire town. But, you know, like, see Klaus. Brother Waszlaw uses time in almost all of the Abbey's cooking. Maybe because it grows so easily here. That's this dude who told us not to rat out the nun, and we didn't do it. Okay. So many, the many-petaled cinquefoil. It grows so easily, some consider it a weed. I think we've had that one before. Obviously pet the cat. Very good, very good. Cat is petted. Let's go to the mill. Actually, I'm going to go to the Roman ruins first. Nobody is here. Okay. Doesn't look like the drawings have got anything more on them than last time we were here. That could mean something. It could mean absolutely nothing. Alright, their house is shut. I'm expecting a lot to be shut to us right now. But if there's anyone we can speak to, I want to speak to them, you know, while we have the opportunity. A stunning collection of wildflowers. They all seem to grow so plentifully in the meadow. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Abbey. Sneak up here. I'm guessing that if you were better positioned with the Abbey, maybe you stay in the guest house instead of staying in the inn. That's just my shot in the dark for like how things might have changed here. Like, it would definitely make some level of sense, right? If you're friends with the Abbey, then, you know, you get to finish your masterpiece and all that sort of stuff. Right, I could definitely see a world where that happens. Yeah, this is all locked to us right now. So I wonder whether we're ever going to be allowed back in the Abbey, or whether on our run we're just like locked out forever. There's a pretty big part of the town that's just like not available to us. Interesting. Forest? Let's go check out... Oh, let's first of all do this. With Father Gernot's new restrictions, the townsfolk can't even gather sticks without a fee. Okay, Smokey's home. So Smokey is not here, and obviously his visitor is long since gone. Okay. What's this? Brother Waszlaw uses time in... Alright, yeah, we've had that one. That's the way to church and Drucker's, which is of course everything in that direction. Check the shrine. I'm not expecting to see a ton around here. I just want to do a quick, you know, like, run through every area. Maybe there's someone we can speak to, maybe there isn't, but, you know. If we don't check, then no doubt there will be somebody. Yeah, so that's the same as when we were last here, and then the salt mine. That's the same, okay. Then there was nothing at the salt mine in our first investigation whatsoever. Or really at the waterfall. I mean, the only thing at the waterfall was Old Otto, I think. At least from our investigation. Yeah, let's head this way. And we'll head in towards the church. Ooh, Sky. Andreas, I heard you were back in Tassing. God bless you. God bless you, Father Thomas. It is good to see you again. Hopefully this visit will be less eventful than your last. Tassing has enough going on as it is. We have our bonfire for St. John's Eve tomorrow night. People get up to all sorts of mischief. St. John's. The feast and celebration of St. John the Baptist, beginning at sunset on July 23rd, coincides with Midsummer's Day and the summer solstice. And it's my job to hear their confessions in the days that follow. Not to mention the grumbling the peasants are making. Let's just talk, brother. No need to scare our guest with such things. I'm sure if there is trouble, Master Maler will be the first to stick his nose in it. I'll say nothing. We'll rise above. It's easy enough for you to come and go. You don't have to live with the consequences. After Phorenik was executed, Father Abbot made Matthew the new prior. Oh, really? Interesting. Phorenik may have been annoying, but Matthew is even worse. Thanks for that. It would have been better for everyone if you had simply allowed Brother Piero to die. After all, he only had a few years left anyway. We'll stare menacingly at him. Nothing to say for yourself? Friends, there's no need for such ire. Forgive me, Brother Thomas. I let my passions get the better of me. Besides, that's not even why I came down here. Oh? I actually came to speak to you on the Abbot's behalf, Andreas. Really? So the Abbot very much didn't seem like he wanted to speak to us. Father Gernot would like to invite you to come to the library tomorrow morning if you're interested in purchasing some of our books. Okay. It didn't seem like we were going to have this kind of relationship. So maybe he wants to speak to us. The Abbot just had me run off and now he wants me back? I don't know the mind of the Father Abbot. I just do what he asks. Maybe it's Zidana? It could be Zidana. She could be the librarian at this point. Or a Sister Illuminata if she's still around. Interesting. The library's not quite ready yet, as it does not see much use. If you could come by tomorrow morning, Mother Illuminata can show you what's available. Aha, so it is Librarian Zidana. Interesting. Mother Illuminata? Yes, since Mother Cecilia passed away a few years ago. How did she die? Peacefully in her sleep. So, tomorrow morning? Alright, tell him to expect me. I'm sure he'll be overjoyed. And Andreas, I apologize for my harsh words before. It was rash. Brother Piero was a pious man and a skilled artist. We miss him. An excellent performance, Brother Guy. I almost believed it. Andreas, please. It's fine, Father. Oh, Father Thomas, do you have a moment to speak inside the church? Yes, I think so. Why? A private matter. Of course, of course. Until tomorrow, God bless you, Andreas. Ooh, okay. Person still here? No idea. We go to the mill. We could also go that way to the Druckers, but we want to go to Martin Bauer's house first, because we want to see the widow Kemperton, who we potentially, saved her farm. We want to see her and go like, you thought we were all terrible, but it turns out I was good. Nope. But it still says Ottilia's home, so I'm guessing she's still alive. Can we see these guys? Nope. Can we see the Gertners? You know, we did used to stay with them. No? Okay, we don't want to go to the town commons, because the town commons might trigger another thing. So we want to go all the way back around to the Drucker's house. Right. Well, actually, I can check, can I? On the map. It will tell me. No, so the only thing that will advance things are going to the Drucker's house. I think. Yeah, okay. That's fine. So actually, we can head back this way. And we can hop in to the town commons on the way past. Anton. Hello, Master Maler. Okay, Zimmerman House, nothing going on. That's where our blacksmith friend lives, potentially. Bakery. Let's head to Northtown and have a look at the rat house. Ah, it's not built yet. The rat house construction is going smoothly. I wonder if they'll finish it before winter. Then there's the doctor, and then there's another house, and then... Tassing is lucky to have so much woundwort. Okay. Which would probably matter if we were more of an alchemist, which we're not. Well, let's go this way. Nothing going on. Steinauer House. Church and Druckers. Let's go. And then into the Drucker house. Where are we? Hello, Klaus. Dot, dot, dot. Andreas. I'm sorry, Klaus. I know it's been a long time. 7 years. 7 years and nothing for my friend Andreas. First Bert, then Mary, just after Magdalene was born. Bert, Mary, oh, are they both dead? Oh. Oh no. My wife always thought highly of you. I can't believe you didn't write back after I told you they had passed. I didn't know what to say. Something. Anything. I'm sorry your son died, Klaus. I'm sorry your wife died, Klaus. How are you? Was the great speaker really at a loss for words? Too late for that now, though. Boop. Bee. Bobo. Oh, hello. She likes you. Your business seems to have grown. What are you printing? The 12 articles. They were originally written by Swabian peasants who were demanding changes from their lord. Oh, okay. Interesting. Freedom from serfdom. Freedom to hunt and use the woods as God intended. Freedom from compulsory labor. Abolition of the inheritance tax. Fair appraisal of rent. The return of property to common use and ownership. Bavaria isn't Swabia, but their complaints are just as valid for the peasants of Tassing. Swabia, a former duchy in the southern Holy Roman Empire, it was reformed as the Swabian Circle in 1512. It borders Bavaria to the west and the Swiss Confederacy to the south and Austria to the southeast. That's an interest. We could say the laws are the laws. No, let's just say this must be what Otto was talking about later. He wanted me to bring you along. Yes, he's asked. I may come, I may not. The abbot has been squeezing the peasants for years. Now he's squeezing the townsfolk, and we're pushing back. Their cause is righteous, Andreas. If you haven't seen the Gertners lately, you should visit them. And also, how'd you print these? Yes? Why? Well, I didn't think he could read. He can't, but just about everyone else in town can. He speaks, I print. I'm just trying to do my part, I suppose. I'm sorry. I'm still not in the mood for this late reunion. Come back for dinner tomorrow. You should go to the Commons. Hear what Otto has to say. It's worth hearing. Of course, I will see you then. Be good while we're gone, Magdalene. Will you be good? Gab gab. Garoo. It is now? Non. Okay, so our job now is go see the Gertners and go to the town commons, I'm assuming. He kind of hinted that we should go to see the Gertners, so let's go and see if we can do that. Because we can bypass going to the town commons in order to see them, so. And I mean, if worst comes to the worst, we just go through, you know, 2 screen transitions for nothing. Doesn't really matter. Right, and they are not here. Okay, cool. Town commons. So many people. Everyone, listen. We all know why we're here, and nothing I'm gonna say will be a surprise. Nothing I'm going to say hasn't already been spoken behind closed doors, whispered to your neighbors. Nothing I'm going to say is untruthful, so it's time we started saying it openly. Year after year, the Abbey has found new ways to tax the peasants. Piece by piece, the Abbey has taken away our rights to use God's forest to support our families. Law after law gets heaped upon us, restrictions on how we can pay rent. Also, I just noticed Ottilia, looking a little bit worse for wear, but still very much alive. Oh, as is old Peter over there. Interesting. Just trying to point out people who we recognize. Is there anyone else we recognize here? That's definitely the mill owner. Okay, and that must be the mill owner's son. I would assume. Although his wife maybe that's his wife? Yeah, and then this is the gardeners. Just looking around here. Yeah, there's the old farmer that we spoke to. You notice how when they're getting... Oh, I just noticed it. When they're older, like, the colouring is a little bit more faded. Like, you know, if it was a book and, like, an older book, that would be the kind of stuff that would start fading with time. That's kind of a neat little touch. I never noticed that before. So you'd assume the younger ones, yeah, they have, like, no fading at all on them. Huh. And then, like, I guess, the more noble ones are, like... Or the better, more well-off ones have less, defects entirely. Like, see the doctor here. Like, kind of perfect. Don't know who you are. You're new. Anyway. Limits on where we can move. Who we can wed. Now the death tax, which once claimed only our best animal and garment, takes half our estate. No consideration for widows, no consideration for children. What about the town council, the Wrath House? A community hall where people meet, typically a council that governs day-to-day affairs under the authority of a lord. Okay. Surely that is a sign that the abbot wishes to share his power, to listen to our grievances. You have a good heart, Ulrich. You always want to see the best in people. But no. The council is a way for the abbot to divide us, to pit a favoured few against the many. This is not charity. No, only greed and desperation drive Father Gurtnot. You'd think if the abbot could, he'd steal a dead man's soul from heaven itself. And when we protested, what did Father Gurtnot do? He locked the shrine of Saint Moritz. He won't allow the people of this town, the farmers of this land, to pray before the relic. Now, when we most need the intercession of our saint, the abbot has shut us out. Father Gurnot's actions aren't just. They aren't Christian. We've endured this abuse for too long. It's time we let the abbot know we won't take it anymore. Too right. Hear, hear. Yes, this has to stop. Let's fix this. Stop, this is foolish. Soldiers are already patrolling nearby towns. If you push against the abbey, you'll incur the Duke's wrath. You could even get the town razed and everyone killed. Hannah's right. The Duke is a powerful force in Bavaria. You're playing a dangerous game, Otto. You lot are no match for trained soldiers. If you don't relent, you'll be ground into dust like the Swabian peasants. We'd always grind you up instead, Lenthart. You might be right if there are soldiers already about. I don't know about this. I have something to look out for. Must stand for something. Don't be shy. Speak up if you have cause. We won't be overrun. The peasants of Salzburg were able to take the city and have their cause heard. If people can get the Archbishop of Salzburg to listen to them, then we can do the same with the abbot. Master Andreas, do you think my family in Salzburg is alright? I don't know, Caspar, but we can find out. Alright. Enough is enough. We can't stand by while the abbot continues treating us poorly. People all over Swabia are taking back their God-given rights. Why shouldn't we do the same? Righteous cause. Martin's right. We deserve better. We can do this. Well spoken, Martin. Everyone ought to consider what he said. Martin has proved dependable these last few years. Ah, so that's why they met up earlier. So when Otto makes his play, he has somebody to back him who doesn't look like he's directly with Otto. But if the words of men can't persuade you, perhaps a sign from a greater power will. The abbot may have locked us out of our saint's shrine, but God has shown me he is with us. Oh, really? How? I think that's all I should say for now. Thank you all for coming. Okay. Good day, Andreas. Clara, it's been too long. It's lovely to see you again. Hello, Andreas. I'm surprised to see you after your long absence from Tassing. At this rate, we thought we'd never see you again. Well, let's go with this. Hello, Eva. All these years and you're still looking as lovely as ever. Andreas, please, that's enough. I'm married now. Of course, Eva. Whatever you require. You haven't changed a day, have you? Ah, you found the Gertners. Your speech was very rousing, Otto. I swear, they get better each time. Are you looking for trouble, Otto? Of course not, but understand what might happen if the abbot doesn't listen to reason. Even so, the people here can't go on like this. Something has to change. I'm just concerned for what might happen here, that's all. It's appreciated, but we know the risks. Ooh, convince Otto to talk about a sign from God. So, understood why many people hate the abbot, argued laws are the basis of civilization, stood your ground when Matthew approached the grave. Because we backed him so much earlier, we get an extra +3. We would have already have done it if we understood why people hate the abbot, but, you know, that's kind of cool. Anyway. Otto, did you really see a sign from God? Is that true? It is, Andreas, I swear. Come talk to me later and I'll tell you what I can, alright? Anyway, Andreas, you and yours should come by the house for supper. We'd be delighted to have you. Sound good to you, Caspar? Well, we'll ask his opinion. This one just ends it and says we'll be there, but let's see what he thinks. Yes, Master Andreas, I'm starving. Our table is a little sparse lately, but we'll be sure to feed you well. Thank you. We'll see you there. And now we move into the eating phase. Alright, so go to the Gertners for supper. Do you reckon there's anywhere else to go? I mean, okay, we can speak to Andreas. Hello. Andreas, you're back in Tassing. Just for a few days, I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. Oh, yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man. I talk to him sometimes on my breaks up at the Abbey. I'm surprised Prior Ferenic didn't give you an earful. Well, he did before the, unpleasantness. I'm sure you know it shook things up at the Abbey for a while. Brother Guy made it clear I wasn't welcome at Kiersau when I arrived, so yes. For what it's worth, you are still welcome in Tassing. Anyway. Matthew's Prior now. Still strict, but a bit quieter about it. So maybe it's a change for the best. Who's to say? We don't have to live by the rule. Then again, we all have to live under Father Gernot's rule, which is probably worse. Oh, are you in with the peasants, Andreas? Well, of course. Gernot has been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore. I hope things don't get bloody. Bloody? No one wants that, Andreas. We're not going to get anywhere by keeping quiet. I hope it goes well for you. Pray for us, will you? We could use St. Maritz's help right now. Say, Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here to return to Nuremberg, I assume you married that girl of yours, Sabine? I did. Let's not say marriage is a legal requirement. That doesn't sound good. We'll just say I did. I hope the married life has treated you well. I still not found anyone. I fear it's never going to happen. Really? Not a single person has caught your eye? Well, when I was in Innsbruck a few years ago, I saw a real pretty girl at the market selling painted pots. I think about her sometimes. Maybe more than is Christian. Oh. Hold on, you need to go back to Innsbruck and find that pretty girl. What? Really? Well, life is too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had. Trust me. I see you feel strongly about this, Andreas. It sounds foolish. Juvenile, you might say. Well, maybe, but it feels right. Well, if I ever have the chance to get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. There's something to look forward to, after all. I thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. A pleasure. Until later, Andreas. Until then. I had the feeling we might have set something into motion there. Wondering whether our conversations with people are more meaningful than we expect. Like maybe they might change like certain dynamics of families or something. There's something to think about. Anyway, hello. God bless you, Andreas. I'm thankful you returned to Tassing after so long. We prayed so fondly for you after you left. That's very kind of you. Although I hear Tassing needs more prayer than ever right now. Oh, that's right. You were at Otto's speech earlier. Yes, Tassing's peasants are struggling, and even now we townsfolk are pinched by the abbot's new restrictions. I worry about my husband. He's getting too involved with the whole business. You disagree with Ulrich? Yes, I do. I love my husband, but sometimes I worry he focuses too intently on the details. He does not see that he may be both prudent and Christian. I pray that I am not acting selfishly, but the abbot's taxes have affected us too. What about Anna's future? Ulrich has been offering credit to Peter for years, which I've accepted, but now? We can only bake so much bread a week before we go hungry ourselves. Can you talk to him, Andreas? Of course, Gret, but I can't promise I'll change his mind. God bless you, Andreas, that's all I ask. Oh, okay. Hey, Anna. Hello, Master Andreas. Right. So she needs someone to speak to Ulrich and say, you know, maybe, you know, don't throw everything in with the rebels, potentially. Oh, we can head into the Stoltz house? We haven't been in here before. Ooh, this seems like somewhere we could have gone before. Interesting. Also, love it. Yes. Oh, Andreas Maler. How unexpected. I'm very busy at the moment. Another time? Later then. Okay. So I had the feeling we're going to come in here for... Well, I can only assume someone else is going to die. Some kind of autopsy or something. The Isenkopf house. Have we met an Isenkopf? You appear to... Oh yes, you're the person I didn't recognize. The gear one. You're Balthasar. Salutations. You must be that wonderful artist, no? Master Andreas Maler, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Balthasar Isenkopf at your service, but call me Baltas, please. It's much more familiar. A pleasure, Baltas. Have you been in Tassing long? Oh, just a few seasons. My cart broke down, and I found the place so charming I decided to stay. I enjoy the quiet, but I must say I do miss the company of other intellectuals. Usually that good Dr. Stoltz and I whittled the hours away in the evenings. So naturally, when I heard a well-known artist had returned, I was beside myself. I'm always pleased to meet a like-minded individual. What do you do? I'm an inventor of sorts. Really? What do you make? All sorts of things, young man. Mechanical clocks of all sizes, metal mice that skitter about, even light without flame. Truly impressive, Baltus. Thank you, Andreas. I knew a fellow artist such as yourself would appreciate my work. Ah, well, I best get back to it. You know how it is for us few called to a higher art. Good luck, Baltus. Until later. Right, we're out of here. Let's leave him alone. And we've now explored all of that. We have a lot of people to talk to. So we're going to leave all that. We're going to head into the Stein. Oh, let's get into his house first, then we'll speak to Lucky. Hello, Agnes. Oh, Andreas, how good it is to see you again, and who is this? Hello, Agnes, this is my assistant, Caspar. Hello. What a hale-looking boy. And you, Andreas, you look very well. Why are you back in Tassing? I came to pay respects to Brother Piero's grave. Oh, of course, I'm sure the brothers appreciated that. The last few years have been difficult for everyone. We've lost so many. Yes, I heard Bert and Marie had passed. Tragic. Yes, poor Klaus. I hope you've stopped in to talk to him. He sent you letters. Ah, yes. Anyway, I won't burden you with all of Tassing's troubles. It's been good to see you again, Andreas. Until later. Until then. As maybe if you hadn't mentioned Bert and Marie, she might have told you something else. Good to think about. Andreas, not who I wanted to see. We did kind of rat him out to the Archdeacon, didn't we? God has it out for me. Perhaps God is trying to send you a message of forgiveness. It's not good for the soul to hold a grudge. You still talk too much. I couldn't even hold back to the Archdeacon running. Couldn't even hold back to the Archdeacon running your mouth. I owed it to the law not to speak falsehoods in front of a adjudicator. It would have besmirched my integrity. Only care for your own hide, eh? Good thing the Archdeacon knew how to weigh all the evidence. Turns out the prior is just as corrupt as regular folk. I still can't believe it was Phorenik. I'm not surprised. They didn't kill me, but you tainted my name. Folks whispering, what if they got the wrong person? Could have been the Mason after all. I'm sorry, Lucky, that was not my intent. Apologies don't bring work, reputation does. At least most have the decency to only whisper, unlike that shit Muller. So no, I don't like seeing you here, Master Maler. I can only apologize again, truly. I've little else to give. Yeah, well that won't make us all friendly. Keep your distance, alright? Now get lost. Ugh. Okay, so who you threw under the bus is very much going to be, you know, front and center. We can go into Our Lady of the Labyrinth. We haven't been in there. Ooh, hello. Right, Edith says, God bless you. Haven't been in here at all. Okay. This must be the labyrinth the church is named after. Interesting. Alright. Nothing else going on here. I'm assuming that's how you get to the person who's outside in the cell. It's been bricked up. Assuming they're still alive in there. Right. We can head into Muller House. Ah, Paul. Hello, Master Maler. Hello, Paul. Meet Caspar, my assistant. Oh, hello. Do you work with Master Maler? Have you done real art? I guess. I've been doing sketches of Tassing while we're here. All art created from the artist's heart is real art, Paul. You don't need fancy paints or canvases to be an artist. You think so? Sure. How's your art going? Shh. Not where Dad can hear. Oh, right. How's the art going? Haha, I've been practicing a lot more. Klaus even showed me a big book full of prints. He said they used a technique called wood cutting. Have you ever done wood cutting, Master Maler? I did some while in Krakow. The woodcut takes ages to create, but can be reused like Klaus's printing press. That's amazing. I wish Dad would change his mind about art. Maybe one day, Paul. You never know. I hope so. I should get back to helping my dad. See you later, Master Maler. See you, Caspar. Until then. Hello. I was also wondering, you know how you've got all these bits where I was talking about like the different like social classes and things determined how nice you were, and then also like whether you were a bit roughed up around the edges and faded. I wonder, like, if you're an artist, whether you start to, like, get more colorful. I don't know, although I guess he's colorful, so he kind of just looks like he's wearing what his dad wears, so it could just be, like, a generic kind of thing. Like, you know, he's this class of person, so he wears this kind of thing. But anyway. Right, hello, Lenthart. Andreas, welcome back to Tassing. Hello, Lenthart, how's the mill? Sturdy as ever, just like me. You look well. Not stuck with the Gertners this time, eh? The Gertners are lovely people, Lenthart. I didn't want to burden them, as I'll only be here a few days. Well, whatever you say, you have such a curious fascination with the peasants. Probably because you don't have to deal with them as often as the rest of us. Anyway, you should come by sometime. I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. Good day, Andreas. Good day. Interesting. Hello. Bless you, Andreas Maler. He does have a gun there, which is unusual, I would say. Not, you know, like unheard of, but just unusual. Like, why does he have a gun? I mean, he obviously goes hunting, judged by the antlers there, but still. It's like... It's odd. I'm going to check the Abbey. I assume that it's all locked, but we're going to check it anyway because we can, basically. So yeah, as they said, St. Moritz is shut, the church is shut. Assuming that this is shut, yeah. So the Abbey's all shut off to us until tomorrow morning, where we can go to the library. Okay. Lock that one in there. Library tomorrow morning. Now, assuming that's what's going to let us back in the church, and then something's going to happen. Hey, Smokey. Oh, Andreas Master Maler, you're looking well. Thank you, Smokey. How are you? Oh, well enough, I guess. Václav went his way a few years ago, which I suppose was bound to happen. Okay, fair enough. I miss the company sometimes, but now there's no one to keep me from my gossip. No one to tell it to, either. I'm always partial to a few new tidbits of information. Do tell, Smokey. Half the years in Tassing will be burning by the end, Master Maler. Nearly all of them in the Abbey. Oh? I'd see another Imperial Reichsport post. Let's try that again. I did see another Imperial Reichspost courier ride from the Abbey a few days ago. A private mail service run by the Thurn und Taxis family and approved by the Holy Roman Empire. Brother Guy dropped the bag once. It looked heavy. The Abbey must be doing better than the Abbot is letting on. Does that happen often? Once or twice a month. Odd, with what the Abbot has been saying about the Abbey struggling. Doesn't help the Abbot has tightened the restrictions so close to St. John's Eve, too. The townsfolk get up to all sorts of mischief then. Heh, I remember those days. I'd wager Johann and Kat will find some corner to play in again. It's practically tradition at this point. Veronica and Brigitte might go out for a midnight dip by the waterfall too. They've been swimming out there for years. Now everyone's getting clever, trying to stay out of the Abbot's eye. Stay out from the Abbot's eye. He's a formidable man. I didn't see you in the town commons during Otto's speech. Aren't you standing with the peasants? Well, their case doesn't really affect me, does it? I'm as worried as anyone about soldiers rushing through here, but the new taxes and restrictions don't bother me. I understand why they're upset, but I've been doing fine out here with less than they have. Nothing will change for me if they get their way. I see. Ah, well, enough of that. Thanks for stopping by, Master Maler. Until later, Smokey. Until then. Alright, so now I see why people were saying that he would be good to speak to in the first act. If he's like the town gossip, that now lines up perfectly for like why you would speak to him. If he's like, you know, watching all the comings and goings from the Abbey, he would find out a ton of things. He probably saw where the Baron went on his, you know, walk. you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you would imagine he might know about. 2 innocents. Oh, do you think that's Bert and Marie's grave? No. It could be. That's interesting. Or is it the Baron and Pharenic? Somebody put up something for them? I don't know. I'm just coming up with ideas. Right. Oh, given that we can speak to everyone, let's go speak to the widow Kemperton. The reason why I really want to speak to her is because we did her a favour, so I want to see what she has to say. Andreas Maler. Hello, Cat. Well, would you look at that? You are back in Tassing. Well, look at you. You've done well for yourself. And who's this? Cat, please make Caspar my apprentice. Hello. He's got the posture of an artist, that's for sure. Good strong face, though. I do? What brings you back to Tassing, Andreas? Just passing through on the way back to Nuremberg. I saw Martin earlier. I must say I was surprised to see him. That's right, he disappeared when you were last in town. Franz passed a few winters ago, then Wolf, Brigitte and I nearly lost the farm and our mines. But Martin returned shortly after, and he's proved to be a changed man, a good man. He saved us from destitution. Ah, of course the Abbey would have seized your land. Johann wished to buy it, to preserve it for Brigitte and I, but with the taxes being what they are. Well, we were very lucky Martin returned. I do not wish for the fate of Ottilia Kemperin on any woman, least of all myself. Times may be hard in Tassing right now, but God truly does answer our prayers. I'm glad you and your family are well, Cat, despite everything. Thank you, Andreas. It is good to see you again. Or truly good to see you again, even in the midst of such terrible times. Until later, Cat. Until then. Right. Martin, hello. Andreas Maler, good to see you again after all these years. I'm surprised you'd say that. Your parting words to me back then were hardly kind. Were they? It's been so long, I don't remember. It was pretty rude. Well, sorry for being such an asshole back then. It seems like you've learned a lot since then. 7 years is a long time for a young man, especially one going through what I was. What happened to you anyway? Oh, right. You know I stole some of the Baron's things. I didn't make it far with them. I tried to sell them in Volgau, and I got robbed. Serves me right, I guess. Luckily, they didn't find the coins I was carrying. The money carried me around Bavaria for another month and a half. Then I started stealing. I grew bigger and more confident over time, became a highwayman. You were a bandit? Hard to believe, I know, but yes. Anyway, it didn't last long. I eventually got scared out of it. I had a partner for the last year of my adventures. We were trying to rob some Italians. We thought they were merchants travelling under the banner of St. George. St. George, a 2nd century Praetorian guard and patron saint of England. He is most well known for his legendary victory against the dragon. But they were soldiers guarding money from the Bank of St. George in Genoa. Exactly, I learned that later. My partner didn't survive the encounter. I was wounded and alone in the wilderness. I thought of my father, my mother, Brigitte. I realized I couldn't remember Wolf's face anymore. I had to come back and take up responsibilities I had left behind. I'm not going to say responsibilities are overrated at this point. It was coming back difficult. It was. It felt like I had stepped out of another life into this one. It took me a while to get used to everything, to remember how things used to be. It's all in the past now. Just need to look forward. That's a good attitude. I'll talk to... Actually, no, let's say it's quite a speech you gave back at the Commons. You need support. The townsfolk aren't as committed to opposing the abbot. They have less to gain and more to lose if the abbot chooses to get the Duke involved. Anyway, I have to get back to work. Good talking to you, Andreas. Alright, until later. I felt we should say a nice thing at the end about his speech, just in case it's important. Right. Hello, Brigitte. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Brigitte, how are you? As well as anyone can be in Tassing right now. Looks like things are going well for you. Martin returned after all. Yes, the winter without him was excruciating. I lost little Wolf, and Cat was worried that she'd lose the farm after Trance died. Then Martin returned, and he's provided well for us ever since. Despite the tightening restrictions, we've gotten by. I'm thankful. I'm sorry to hear about Wolf. Thank you, I try not to think about it. We'll nod, regretfully. Cat wants to talk about him all the time, you know. Any night there's clear sky, she looks up and asks if I ever wonder how he is up there. That must be excruciating. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Andreas, I can't talk about this anymore. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. Was that a good idea? Says the voice in her head. Why do you think she'd want to talk about her dead son? Are you trying to hurt her? Does it feel good to you, hurting the wounded? No, I was trying to be kind. Does she seem like she has been gifted with a kindness? No. You wouldn't want someone to talk to you about it. That's why you don't mention it. Are you even listening to me? We say these things even though the reminding inflicts immense pain. We say these things because it's the only way through. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. Didn't say that. But will it make any difference? I'm sorry I brought him up, Brigitte. You didn't know, it's alright. It's been good to see you again, but I should be going. Until later. Until then, I wonder who the voice in our head is. We definitely seem to be having a few conversations with the voice in our head. Hello, Ottilia. Andreas. She's got less in here than last time. Also, she didn't have anything to say to us, which seems awfully rude given that we didn't throw her under the bus for murder. Right. Hello, Eddie. Hello, Andreas. Alright, we can't go in their house. Who have we got here? Hans. Hey, Andreas, I heard you were back. Hello, Hans. Meet Caspar, my apprentice. Hello. Hello, are you from Nuremberg, like Andreas? I'm from Salzburg. Is that very far from here? Not too far, I think. A few days to the east on horseback. I've never been outside of Tassing. Or ridden a horse. Tassing's a wonderful place to live. I guess some of the men in town say it would be better if the Abbey weren't around. They might be right about that. What do you think? I don't know. Could be nice to have a change. Be careful what you wish for. Change has not come peacefully in the Empire. I guess we'll see. Until then, Hans. Hello, Johann. Andreas Maler. Didn't expect to ever see you back in Tassing. You look like you've done well for yourself. Well, thanks. And how have you been? Oh, not good. I never was able to get hold of old Rannick's land. I might have been able to take over my brother's plot, but I'm sure you heard Martin found his way back. Oh no, even if I had 2 extra plots, the abbot would find some way to make me regret it. We're taxed so hard we can't keep up, Andreas. Sounds like a lot of people are upset with the abbot these days. They have good reason to be. I know you didn't get on well with the man either. Father Matthias never let things get this bad. Anyway, good to see you, Andreas, even if you are just passing through. Until later. Okay, and now we are at the Gertner farm. Right, anyone here? Nope. Well, let's go inside. Hello, everybody. Let's speak to Clara first. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down to supper. Care to join? Want to walk around a bit more. Right, I just want to see if anyone else has anything to say, like Ursula. Hello. Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No. Should I? I suppose you wouldn't recognize me. I'm not the poor artist your parents boarded. As you know, let's say this. Now, you were very young when I was last in Tassing. I boarded in your parents' house. Oh, the artist, Andreas, right? Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They said you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, while I was in Krakow, I learned a new printing technique. No, not about the art, Andreas, about your travels. Alright, alright. Let's give her real things. The city's market square is almost bigger than Tassing, and always full of merchants from all over the continent. There are even plans to build a clock tower near the church in the square. Like the one Balthus says he wants to make. Maybe? That must be a huge city if the market is bigger than Tassing. I wish I could see it. Well, Krakow is a long way from here. You should try going to Nuremberg first. Is that closer? Yes, much closer. Maybe I will one day then. Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you know stories about Perchta and the Wild Hunt? Wild Hunt. In Germanic folklore, the Wild Hunt is a supernatural cavalcade of spirits and fiends which may cause destruction or portend war and other catastrophe if not adequately appeased. The Wild Hunt is often led by a legendary figure such as Perchta, or the devil. A little. I didn't learn about them until I lived here. Why? Are they bad? Bad how? Well, my grandpa tells me things about Perchta and spirits and charms. And the old woman Ottilia, she talks about them too. Says all these words I don't understand. He told me they're part of the old ways or something. So why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says I shouldn't listen to any of it. He said it's nonsense and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said he only tolerates it with old people because they're too stuck in their ways. I don't want to get in trouble, but Grandpa says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. So, are they bad? No, they're not bad. You should learn what you can. You should learn what you can while you can. Really? I mean, why not? Oh, told an ordinary travel story, completely locked off, embraced the old ways for her. Okay. I'm sorry, forget I said anything. Until later. So we failed to convince her to embrace the old ways. Hello, ill Peter. Oh, that's literally what we said. Yeah? Oh, it's you, the artist from a few years ago. Yes, Andreas Maler. I'm surprised you remember me. Everyone seems to think my mind is going, but it's still sharp as a nail. Pendris makes nails, you know. Good man. Right. Are you staying with my family again? No, I'm staying at the Golden Hand. Those misers charge us just as much as the pilgrims for a drink, but won't support my son in his cause. The new abbot must have gotten to them, the bastard. Why do you hate the abbot so much? Everything went to shit after Father Matthias died. That man, God rest his soul, never increased taxes. He might have asked for a tithe in harder winters, but we were happy to help the abbey then. Bring a take from the forest as we needed. Brother Florian used to help us in our illnesses. Let us follow in the ways of our forefathers. A true Christian, old abbot. And then, Father Gernot promised he would keep everything between the abbey and us peasants the same, and we were foolish enough to believe him. At first, he refused to allow Florian. He refused to allow Florian to come down anymore. The taxes got higher. He stopped allowing us to pay in goods and livestock. Now he only takes coin, as though we come by enough of that in a year to pay our rents alone. That bastard doesn't give a damn about us. Not how Father Matthias did. I didn't realize how bad the restrictions were for you. No, of course you don't. Not your kind with your fancy hats and tassels and furs. You don't need to see the troubles of us common folk. Why should this new abbot grander than us all? I should go. Alright. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Andreas. It's good to see you back in town. Hello, Veronica. How have you been? Oh, you know, pulled every which way. Mom's been a care about when I'll give her grandchildren. As though I'm not doing enough work already. You're married now? Oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't know. Big York and I were married 2 springs back. Congratulations to you both. Thanks. Now Mom's nagging me about when we'll have kids. Well, you shouldn't rush something as important as children. That's what I keep telling her. Maybe you should talk to her, Andreas. If it comes from someone as successful as you, maybe she'll pay attention. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for the festival. I'll leave it to I'll leave you to it. Until later, Veronica. Right. Big Jorg. Hello, Andreas. Peter. Hello, Andreas. And then we have Clara. But we're going to leave speaking to Clara until next time. Thank you for watching, and we should be back to a video a day for this going forward. Just had a little break because I was away for a couple of days, and I didn't want to start this new bit of the story without actually, you know, doing it all in one go. Because otherwise you get all these names and all these different plot threads, and it would just get lost. So, I'm happy that we're back to it, though. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.